open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
This is a months-old story that suddenly has relevance in my life, and I'll explain it once we get through the meat and potatoes here, how it applies to moi. Former Vikings player Matt Kalil. Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
He has a huge penis.
Okay.
Months ago, his ex-wife, Haley, went on a podcast, and she talked about their marriage and why it ended.
Was he a lineman? Sorry.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I don't care anymore about sports, so my brain's deleting all that so I can remember more track listings of extreme metal albums.
Yeah. Sorry to sidetrack. The only Viking I remember having a huge dick was Visante Shenko because it was like on TV or on air.
His massive peignoir was featured over the shoulder of someone, and it's like, good God, sir. So Haley Kalil, that's not what she goes by now. I guess her name is Haley Bailey.
Oh, no.
Isn't that terrible?
Oh, yeah.
Julia Gulia, fucking
Pretty
wedding
much.
singer. Yeah.
Wow. They go by a different version of their name.
So Haley says part of why their marriage ended was the problems they had with intimacy. And it's not that she wouldn't put out or he had no interest. It's that his cock is, quote, like 2 Coke cans stacked, and it caused her physical anguish to make love with him. And she couldn't handle it, so it became an issue, and then she left him.
Wow.
So she goes on the air and she says this about him, right?
Okay.
And it fucking explodes over 3 days.
I guess I completely missed that boat a month ago. I had my head down.
Oh, it's more than a month ago.
Yeah.
The original podcast, that was like September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're in February, almost at the end here.
Wow, I've really been tuned out.
So he's suing her. He's suing her because he feels like his privacy was invaded and he was unfairly harassed, and it caused undue attention that is focused on him and his new wife. He got offers to be in porn movies.
Sure he did, I'm sure.
From companies because they heard giant dick. And this reminds me of when Ariana Grande hinted that Pete Davidson had like a 10-inch dick.
Did she hint at that, or did everybody just wonder? Because he was so homely looking, like, what must be the reason? Oh, it must be BDE.
No, she talked about the BDE, the big dick energy.
Okay.
So it came out somehow that he had like a 10-inch dick. So he did a special. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, okay.
It's a fucking great special. It really is. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched it. I'll have to check that out.
Fucking you and the wife sit down and watch it.
Okay.
He talks about how this is like the biggest mind fuck ever, because suddenly it's all about, oh, he only gets chicks because he's got a huge cock, and oh, let's talk about Pete Davidson's huge cock.
Right.
And he's like, it's not. It's not. So she, not only did she give me attention I didn't want, now she fucks me over. This is after they broke up. That any chick he's with is going to be disappointed if they got with him thinking he had a massive dick, and it's not as big as advertised, but clearly not small either. I mean, he's not slinging Milton Berle heat. There's a fucking old reference for you.
Right.
So much with Pete Davidson, Matt Kalil is upset that he's getting all this attention, so he sues her. And her attorney tries to get the case dismissed based upon, one, free speech again, like the previous episode with Kyle Wagner and his threats.
Okay.
And he argues this phrase: Miss Bailey has sovereignty over her own sexual encounters and memories thereof, and it is nobody else's problem, or shouldn't be anybody else's ability, to silence her because they don't like her telling a story of something that happened to her. Think about that. Mm-hmm. You're involved in something. Let's say, hypothetically, your baby mama, as intelligent and gracious as she is, talking about the past, says a bunch of shit that gets back to you, and it's inflammatory. Mm-hmm. Say she calls you an abuser or whatever the fuck.
Right, yeah. Basically,
defames
her memories
you.
Of something happening sexually or something are different, and it's defaming what she's saying. You're saying.
Well, not even just sexual memories.
Oh, okay.
She might say, we got in a fight, and I was scared he was going to hit me.
I get what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Just because you guys were... She's fiery. I will fucking give you that till the end of time. She fucking got up in my face a couple times while drunk, and she was happy, and I was scared. Because she's a fiery Latina, and she's got nails.
She was one of those people that was always looking for a reason to prove how strong she was, whether it was mentally, physically. She just wanted to be seen as tough.
Yeah, or just hot shit.
Yep.
So now if she says that about you, that's her memory. It doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make it okay that she's basically slandering you.
Right.
But can you sue her for it?
Well, on my level, I'm a nobody, right? I could see somebody like Matt Kalil. He's probably more out there, right? He's more prevalent in the public, and he's, probably has a career post-football, you know what I mean?
It's a distraction.
Yeah, exactly, right? It probably brings undue attention. So it might affect, maybe he's in sales, maybe it affects his ability to get accounts or to continue to do his job, right? You know what I mean? There's all ways that I don't know that this may affect him. In some ways, there might be a case for it if... See, you're talking about things that should be private, right? Like, if he were to start talking about her physical anatomy... Would that have been okay? I mean, would there
probably
have been
not because of his
standard?
whiteness and his maleness.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I always try to look at it the lens of the double standard. You know what I mean? Would this be okay if this was the other way?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be okay or just more public shaming, right? At this point, if Matt Kalil could come out and said something about her physical stuff, public would have been, oh, geez, that's pretty poor. But if it's a woman and it's kind of flattering about the guy, are we just supposed to accept it? I don't know. I kind of feel for Matt. Like, it is kind of BS,
I'll agree. I mean, he could have come out and said, look, she might be speaking hyperbolically, but I will confirm to you that our incompatibility physically caused issues with us for intimacy physically.
Sure.
And then it caused a relationship blockade because we couldn't connect and then we fought about this. But it's nothing that we need to continue to bandy about in the public sphere.
Exactly. I would have said something to the effect where, what you said, and it said, obviously the issues there were a lot more than just incompatibility with sex.
It's weird that was what she chose to focus on. But if I'm going to bet dollars to donuts, and I don't know the podcast she was on, I'm going to assume it was like two females that were interviewing her, and it's encouraged to slight men for whatever reason. That's a very en vogue thing to do, is to get three gals on a panel talking shit about men.
Yeah.
But men can't get three or four of us together and talk shit about women, or else we're chauvinistic and misogynists.
Is that what Andrew Tate did, though? I mean...
Well, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
But at the same time, he has said things that I went, that is a great mentality. He'll drop knowledge about facing your enemies, carrying yourself, how you face adversity. He's a pig, and he objectifies women, and he's so far up his own ass, it makes sane people sick. And he's a grifter who just wants your money to tell you how to become a top G alpha male. But the guy has said things. So let's tie this to me now. I've explained this to you explicitly off air, because that's the safest way that I can do so without getting myself possibly into some trouble. Let's just say that somebody in my past doesn't like the things I say about them on this show. That could be a number of people, actually.
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time with you, so there's been a lot of topics discussed.
So they don't like that I talk about them on here, even though I don't mention names. And they don't like the way I talk about my children on here.
Okay.
And they don't think I should talk about past relationships or sexual conquests in any way. And they're basically trying to silence me, assumedly just to fuck with me. And I'm going to say this, it's a cheap dig, because of their fragile ego and how insecure they are.
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, yeah, a lot of times when somebody has to have control, that's the underlying reason, right? Why are they trying to control what you say?
It's a podcast that I don't use my real name. I never have.
Right.
We don't use real names. We use nicknames.
Yep.
I've never named an employer. I've gotten called down and questioned about the show by an employer, but I was like, hey, I got you on a technicality. You say I can't do this, but I'm telling you, I never named myself or my employer or what facility I worked at. So I actually knew this conversation was going to happen years ago, and I got ahead of it by making it so ambiguous that you technically can't sue me in a way that'll stick. So, gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's fun to say to a government agency when they've got you staring down the barrel of possible HR retribution, and they bring in somebody in a suit you've never heard of before who's apparently there to babysit the one interviewing you.
Again, what were they trying to do? They were trying to control you. They were trying to silence you, right?
Well, it was a misdirect because I had just put out a big rant on my Facebook page about the injustice I had faced at work and made several allegations where the person questioning me was like, well, how many employees that you work with of the same facility and department are you Facebook friends with? And I was like, can you give me and my union lawyer 5 minutes here? And we went in the next room. I'm like, dude, this is damage control. She's asking about how many other people I'm friends with to see who might have seen it and can corroborate my accusations. They're trying to then use the podcast as a misdirect, say, oh, but you did this. So if it was so bad that I did the podcast, why aren't I instantly fired? Why are we talking about this right now, huh? Mm-hmm. They just paid me for 8 weeks to go away. And then I didn't. And then I came back and I dropped the fucking truth bomb. And they're like, uh-oh, we got to get him. So this other person that doesn't like me talking about them on my internet radio show that on average gets 5 to 8 listeners per episode. Oh my God, your reputation. Oh, what are people going to think? It's almost like they're going to hear my side of the story instead of yours, and they're going to think that you might be a little unhinged. Whoa, heaven forbid you have to face reality, whoever you are.
It's interesting. Those who have to control the narrative, they can't stand to have a counter narrative out there because it damages them. If it really was something that they were comfortable in the truth, in what was really the truth,
they wouldn't mind what I'm saying.
They wouldn't have any problem with it because they would be able to stand on its merits alone. And that's what really bothers me.
Yeah, and the loss of that control when you start to contradict the victimhood narrative that they've spun over years. Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, congrats to Matt Kalil for having a gigantic dick, but also I'm sorry that it ruined his marriage.
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't have found a woman that was deeper, I guess, or
wider.
Penis.
Somebody with a natural gape.
Right. Well, if you've ever seen anything from the Kama Sutra, they basically say that there are different types of men and women, and apparently he needed to find one that was an elephant. It has something to do with the
size of her pussy being ginormous?
Certain animals are pretty much basically saying that certain animals are compatible with others.
So well, yeah, pig and an elephant's DNA just won't splice. It was on South Park many years ago.
Right, yeah, exactly. If you have a guy who's a rabbit, he's not going to be compatible with a woman who's an elephant because she's just too big and deep and she's not going to feel his rabbit penis.
Yeah.
Right? You know, come on. It's all...
Penis.
Yeah. That's why you don't see a lot of black chicks
with Asian guys. It's been going around for
guys.
Thousands of years.
Definitely.
Yeah. What about...
black
chicks with Asian guys? I got that now.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Shaq with that little Asian woman.
Oh, God, no, that poor woman.
See what I mean? If she could do it.
No, she would need to get a tent zipper installed in her pussy afterwards so that when she sneezed, her guts wouldn't come rocketing out.
I think every guy maybe thereafter would just be like, you were with Shaq? I got nothing.
That pretty much might turn you gay.
Right?
I have to go suck dicks now because there's no woman. Even the woman that haven't fucked Shaq, I'll know that I'm Eskimo Brothers with an NBA Hall of Famer that's hung like a Pringles can, and I just don't measure up. Meanwhile, Matt Kalil needs to find a woman with a vagina that has the surface of the bottom of my foot, a size 12 here. I always joke about fat women with giant pussies.
There you go. That's what he needed to find.
The surface area, the bottom of my fucking Chuck Taylors, and a hole that can easily take like a baseball.
Yeah.
Dry.
You looked over there. I thought you were going to say football.
There's a baseball in that tool bag that used to be in my trunk with the tire iron, the Nintendo Zapper gun, and the hammer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be able to like sit down on that dolphin lamp over there and slide down that bitch.
Right.
Two Coke cans, not the mini cans that they give out for kids.
12-ounce cans.
Not the narrow cans of the fancy flavors. 2 Coca-Cola classic cans fucking stacked. That is so much dick that how the fuck does he even find underwear that fit him?
I don't know!
Yeah, I mean, that's
the kind of dick that I talked about in the episode with the Beast, saying she had that guy that had the fucking cock like a Red Bull can and that she destroyed her throat and almost went to the ER.
My God.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's some out there. So, sidetrack.
Yeah.
I've wondered what the prevalence of it is because years ago.
Well, hang on. What do you mean the prevalence of?
So
How many people have giant dicks like that?
dick sizes, and don't ask me where I get my information from. This is just a general acquiration of knowledge over the years.
Because you Googled how big your dick is in the grand scheme of the world average. Yes, I have too. And the average of the world is 5.14 inches or 5.25 inches roughly.
Is that what it is, though?
Is the world average.
Oh, okay.
Whereas anything 6 and above is considered large, and anything 8 and above is considered monstrous.
Monstrous. So I did Google girth a long time ago as well, what the average girth was.
4 inches.
I was like, really? That's it?
Yep. I know a
That's
lot about dicks that most people are like, why do you know so much about dicks?
But the sizes in Western civilization have been increasing for a long time, and there are certain societies that don't have as large dicks, and typically Asian societies, but one in particular, Koreans, and they think it's due to their very tight-knit society where there wasn't a lot of cheating, there wasn't a lot of people going outside their marriage looking for other things, you know what I mean? And they tried to chalk it up to that. I wonder if it has to do with freaking growth hormone and other stuff that we've added into food and stuff like that over the years. You know what I mean?
I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. There's something that you don't know, this term, I don't think.
What's that?
Jelking.
Jelking.
You grab the base of your cock like with the OKO,
Sure.
and you pull on it, and you cause micro tears in the tissue.
Oh, sure,
That over time,
yeah.
allegedly, gradually make it longer. There's no evidence to suggest that jelking
Oh, God,
works.
that sounds terrible, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a band named Infectious Jelking. They're a slam band. They're fucking awesome.
That sounds awesome.
And that's a shout out basically to my friend Harry, because he likes slam death bands.
Okay.
And he really likes Infectious Jelking. And I'm just trying to use the word jelking
As
a
many
lot
times as possible.
right now.
So I had a theory. It was based on all the growth hormone that they were putting in milk and foods and other things like that. You know what I mean? In cows.
Reasonable,
and stuff like
logical,
that.
scientific even.
Yeah, you know.
So I put the HGH right into my dick.
Right.
And then my cock basically looks like and is the size of Kurt Angle,
There you go.
the wrestler.
The American hero or whatever. What was his name?
He was the Olympic hero.
The Olympic hero.
He won a
That was
gold
his.
medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yes.
Don't know how big his dick is.
Well, his neck got a lot thicker throughout the years.
HGH.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. If you want big dicks in wrestling, Matt Riddle.
Okay.
Yep. I accidentally found that out one time on a Google search. I don't know how, but I did.
Well, probably because you were Googling other dick stuff and you just happened to.
It was like wrestlers with reputations, and I fucking clicked images to see faces to go with names, and I'm like, that's Matt Riddle, and he's holding his dick. Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
Good for him. Good for him. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It. That is at What Do We Call It. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
This is Steiny.
And that's the end.
Penis.